What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. Today, my guest is wrestler Jaxon Roy.
What up, what up, what up? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Glad to have you. We had one other Dynasty member. I don't even know if Dynasty was together, actually, when I had Mikey on. But he was the second episode. And
I don't know.
I'd like to get you two on at some point together.
Of course,
you know?
that'd be dope, man. That'd be dope. Yeah.
when did Dynasty form?
That's a good question. Good question to start off. Dynasty actually started about last November. Around that last November, me and Mikey were actually just having a lot of conversations about doing a tag team thing because we used to just train for hours. We used to train for hours together, and with just both of us like coming from like the same background in the Caribbean culture, we're like, what if we could like do some type of like tag team thing, you know, like work as a tag team or whatever. He kind of already had an idea of Dynasty, like working with his video games. Like he does video games and like a lot of like car wrestlers and stuff like that. So he kind of got the idea of doing a faction, but he just needed to know like who would be a right fit in that faction. So me and him were already having these talks already. So he just immediately chose me as his first member, and yeah, we just decided to do that thing. We also had Sway in mind. He also comes from a Caribbean background, and just with his him being like a veteran at Battle Arts, it just was a perfect fit to have him in there, kind of like giving us guidance. So that's kind of how it all came together, and then we debuted at our first Rising Star show. A Storm is Coming in December. We debuted the team, and then we've been going strong ever since.
And so those are the three official members, because I know at the last OTT event, you guys came out with Xavier.
Yeah. We came out with Big Zay, Big Flexi. We came out with him. That kind of started at the first OTT show. They had Mikey come out with him, and Mikey was kind of being his manager type of thing, and we're like, hey, how about at the next show, you know, maybe there could be something that we can do to have him in Dynasty. And it kind of all aligned because Xavier actually messaged Mikey, and it was like, hey, how about at the next the next OTT show, the show that we just had, how about you come out with the Dynasty flag? And then Mikey told me that. He's like, hey, Xavier wants you to come out with the Dynasty flag. And I was like, no way. So we're like, this is definitely gonna happen. Like he's gonna be like some type of honorary member of Dynasty.
Yeah.
So
like a Mike Tyson kind of what was it, Degeneration X, I guess?
Exactly, yeah. Kind of like a here and there member of Dynasty. But like, yeah, he said come out with the flag, and then Big Zay did me a solid. He's like, hey, I want you to come out with me too. I want you to come out with me, and we're gonna do this whole thing, and you know, actually be Dynasty. Like that was just dope for him to do that for me, and yeah, he's a part of Dynasty.
Yeah, that was a great event.
Yeah,
like the thing.
It was fun. Like you know,
I had a lot of fun, but like there were a couple times. And, like, obviously it's different for us, but there were a couple times that, like, I think I did 4 matches, I want to say.
Yeah.
And there were at least, like, 2 of the matches I just wasn't happy with.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And, like, one part, I think, after talking with my, like my friends that were there.
Yeah.
Like, they just thought it was, like, a work. They didn't know, they didn't realize it was a mistake. So, like, on some level, that made me feel a little bit better. Yeah. Just a little bit, though. Okay. Like, I still know that it wasn't.
Yeah.
So, it still kind of ate me up. But then there was another time that has just been... I feel like every show, I make a mistake, and then the next show I'm so focused on not making that mistake that I make some other mistake because I'm narrowing my view on not doing this one thing that I fucked up last time.
Exactly, yeah.
But it kind of leads me down to a road where I'm like, well, like, it's like the more mistakes I learn, the more I know what to do in those situations the next time. But fuck, it hurts, dude.
It's tough, yeah.
How do you deal with that shit, like, in the ring? Like, say your first spot just is shit, or like, you know, at the beginning of the match something happens and you're doing like 10 minutes.
So the best thing to do is just like, don't show that you fucked up, right? So we always have to communicate and just get to the next spot. There's no pauses, no nothing, because that's how you're gonna show that you fucked up. If you fuck up, and you show it, the people are gonna know you fucked up. So the best thing to do is just to get to the next spot. Communicate to your opponent, get to the next spot, and then you'll be fine.
Are you hard on yourself after the match?
Yeah, in the beginning I'll be like, man, that could have looked better, I could have did this, I could have communicated more. But after a while, you just have to remember that, you know, you're not perfect. You're always learning.
And it's just the beginning, really.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
You know, you're just learning, and like, you know, just take it as a lesson and try to just do better next time. That's the best thing you can do. You'll be hot at yourself for a minute, but then afterwards you get in the back, talk to some guys, maybe talk to the coach for some advice, and then he'll just set you straight. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's something I've dealt with, like, in the comedy world as well, but because I've been doing that a bit longer, I feel like I've been able to shake that off a little bit. But like in the beginning, I would like go to do whatever open mic or a show, and like if shit just didn't go well and I bombed, you know, I just like I'd peace out like right after my set, you know, and just be like, all right, I'm out, and then like you know, I don't drive and shit, so I'm like taking an hour and a half bus ride home, just like dwelling, just hating myself, like why do I do this, and then. It's like you know, but the good moments make it worth it.
It's like that 8 Mile moment when he choked on stage and you just like leave or like, oh my god, I hate my life, I'm out of here.
Oh, you know, man, I've never had like a really, really bad moment like that, and I'm glad, but I definitely like bomb.
Oh, man.
You know, it happens often.
Man. It definitely happens.
You know, but I feel like it happens more when I'm working out new shit.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just hate when it happens at like a paid show. If I'm just doing like some sort of free thing and it's all right, you know, because like nobody paid. You know what I mean? At least it's not that bad. But
yeah, yeah, it's tough.
Can't really do that in the wrestling world. I feel like.
No way.
You know?
Yeah, man.
When did you actually start? Like, what got you into wrestling in the first place?
Wow. So I'm just kind of like everyone else. You grow up watching wrestling as a kid. You know, I was like probably 5 years old when I first tuned into wrestling. I was flipping through the channels, and I was like the kid that like you watch the Dragon Ball Z's, you watch the Power Rangers, you know, you watch all those like cartoon fighting shows, right? So that when I tuned into wrestling, I was like, wow, these are real people actually fighting, you know? This is cool. And so I first started watching in 2001. It was still WWF back then.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? What is this? What is this guy throwing this guy through the table? What is all these crazy moves? You know? So I tuned in and I was like, wow, this is awesome. This is something I've never like seen like in like real people fighting.
Yeah, UFC and stuff wasn't like...
It wasn't as popular back then. It wasn't. So it was just, I didn't know like it was Monday Night Raw. I didn't know it was called Monday Night Raw or SmackDown or anything like that. I just knew it was just wrestling. And obviously I'm 5 years old, right? So like I'm just tuning in whenever it's on. I'm not staying up till like 11 o'clock at night watching Raw. So I got into it just like that, and then I go to school. Like as I'm growing up, I'm going to school, and then like I meet up with friends who are also wrestling fans, and we are huge wrestling fans. Like when I was a kid, like do you know like those binders where it's like they have like the lamination, like you just laminate it and you can put stuff in. Yeah. So me and my friends literally used to like print off wrestlers and just put it in there, and like that would be our binder, and we would walk around and we think we're so cool and stuff like that. We used to wear all the wrestling shirts and everything to school. We actually got in trouble for wearing wrestling shirts because they didn't like how like they had like these half naked guys and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, eh?
Yeah, like I had like Rey Mysterio and a Batista and stuff like that.
That's wild.
So, we were just super fanatic fans. Birthday parties, wrestling, doing all that crazy stuff at birthday parties. But yeah, I just loved WWE. I grew up watching TNA as well. And then eventually when I got into high school, I started amateur wrestling. I knew growing up, I seen guys like Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Shelton Benjamin. I saw those guys come from like the amateur backgrounds. So I thought like that was a way to get into WWE. So when I went to high school, I was like, okay, I'm going to join the wrestling team because this is how Kurt Angle got into WWE. You know, I thought like you would start off in amateur wrestling and then get signed to WWE. Like I was like that gullible thinking like the stuff, shit like that. So I got into amateur wrestling in high school in grade 9. And then my first day I got to the gym and I said to the coach, I was like, hey, I want to do pro wrestling and stuff like that. So like, where's the ring? And da-da-da. I was kind of joking, but still kind of like serious at the same time. I was like, where's the ring? I was like, he's like, Corey or Jackson, sorry. Jackson, there's no ring. There is no ring. This is amateur wrestling. You're going to work on the mat. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Let's just see how this thing goes. And I did it for about 5 years. Like actually all through high school I wrestled. I won a couple of tournaments. I wrestled in city championships when I was in 11th grade, I believe. Wrestled at city championship, placed there, and then eventually went to OFSA, which is like basically provincial championships.
I know it for like other sports, but it figures that they would do wrestling as well.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a journey. And I loved it. I love amateur wrestling. Like just the discipline it teaches you and just everything it teaches you about hard work and dedication, determination. Like I just loved everything about it, and I still do it to this day. I still train in it sometimes when I have time to do it. But yeah, I just always loved that combat sports. I love combat sports.
Me too, dude.
You know,
that's pretty much all I watch.
Yeah.
You know,
like I was like never good at like the other sports. Like I did soccer, I did basketball, but like combat sports was always my thing. Like I always felt like I was meant to do combat sports. I even did karate at one point. When growing up, I did karate. I did a little bit of boxing, but wrestling was mostly like the thing I stuck to all through high school. Like high school for me was wrestling. It was wrestling first and then like academics second. So
yeah, when I was younger, I did Taekwondo for about 3 weeks.
Nice.
And at the time, I feel like it wasn't good for me. And I kind of have a joke that I do now, but that's like around it.
Yeah.
But so I was, I guess 13.
Mm-hmm.
Did Taekwondo for about 3 weeks, and my ego got really big. And just going to school, and you know, just being kind of a dick. Like who's the dick in Karate Kid or Cobra Kai or whatever? I was like, you know, the guy you wouldn't want to cheer for. I just going to school, and I didn't know shit.
Yeah.
Go to school and be like, I fucking know Taekwondo now, and I will fucking end you. You know.
I mean,
and I didn't do it at all since after the 3 weeks. And I think that was kind of good at the time. I started doing Muay Thai a few years ago.
Yeah.
And really enjoyed that. You know?
Yeah, it's like combat sports is just really just like it just teaches you a lot of discipline, teaches you like how to defend yourself, which is always also good because in the world we live in, it's crazy. You never know who's, you know, trying to do something to you. So if you have some type of combat sport in your background, it's good.
Yeah, it's something that like when I was thinking about, you know, working out and shit, like not necessarily don't want to be bigger than I am.
Yeah.
I would like to have my arms maybe a little bigger, but I'm not also trying to, like, I don't care about getting big. I'm just doing like the Muay Thai for, you know, the health.
Exactly. Yeah.
And staying fit. And
Yeah.
I also like kind of just generally have like a thirst for knowledge, especially now that I'm old enough where I can actually like pick the things that I'm learning.
Yeah.
I can actually learn about things that I'm interested in.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot, because like in school, dude,
Mm-hmm.
I like it took me like 5 years to graduate high school.
Yeah,
And I did summer school every year,
yeah.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then cue to eventually going to college for culinary, which kind of was like the first time when I say my entire life up until college, I mean the first time in my life up until college, I studied, dude.
Wow.
Like college just, you know, and then the learning kind of took off from there. I eventually like went to Second City, took some like stand-up classes there.
Yeah, it's nice.
You know, I did like 2 levels there, and now I'm kind of doing the reffing, and it's like everything is just kind of
that's dope.
Fitting in place. Like we were kind of talking about like my 9 to 5 before, like when I was, because I've been there for maybe a month and a half, 2 months, somewhere around there, and everything, like I just needed something to fit my comedy schedule and the wrestling, so it's like weekends and evenings can't work, you know. And like, don't get me wrong, I definitely know people that have been in like the culinary industry longer than me, but like I paid my dues to some degree, and like I wasn't willing to, like, I'm not working split shifts, and I'm not I'm not doing evenings, and like I can't work weekends because I usually have like shows on weekends.
You gotta balance it out. You gotta balance it out.
And they fit it, and now it's like I don't think I could take anything. Like my plate is full right now, bro.
Man, yeah.
You know, and it's weird to think that some people don't even have like, you know, anything like some.
Exactly, you know, like some people just like they just don't. They're not doing anything, and it's like how.
And don't get me wrong, I have a lot of respect for people that work to pay their bills, and there's a lot of like. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody that fucking just works hard and is doing what they have to do to get by, but it's like, you gotta find something that you enjoy waking up for every day.
Exactly, and I tell it to my friends all the time. Like, you gotta like have your work life, but you also just have to have something that you can like sink your teeth into, something that like you're passionate about. You know, what you love to do, and for me, that's wrestling. Wrestling just is definitely one of my passions, and aside from everything else that's going on in my life, like I just know that I'll always have wrestling, and you know, it's something that I'm happy to like wake up and be like, yeah, I can go to wrestling practice. I can even just like, you know, practice amateur wrestling at another gym that I go to. Just wake up and just have something that you love to do.
I feel like even that mindset that you had, you know, when you were in high school and you were kind of a little naive of how things work.
Yeah.
I don't think you were wrong. I just think you missed a lot of the stuff, or all the stuff in between.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, because look at you now, dude. And you're, you know, it's
crazy.
It's just the beginning. I feel like, how long have you actually been training like the pro wrestling at Battle Arts?
So I'll start off like this. I started training at Battle Arts in November of 2020. So this is like during like pandemic times, like the whole on and off, like, oh, we're open, oh, we're closed, you know, is during that time. So they actually posted a free trial for anyone to train in pro wrestling for 1 week. I hopped on that, and ever since then I've been training. So I started training in November of 2020. The pandemic happened like literally 2 weeks after that, so I was like, this sucks. Like now what? So that happened. We came back in July of 2021. I just continued training, working hard, and yeah, I would say for about almost a year now I've been training and just going hard, going to practice 4 days a week, or sometimes 5 days a week, staying afterwards and just doing drills, working on moves, adding more moves into my repertoire, working with Mikey. Promos, learning from him, showing Mikey some amateur wrestling stuff. Mikey showing me some like the other day he was just showing me like this whole Japanese drill that they were doing where like you have to like tap their leg and then sprawl back is a really good cardio drill. And I was like, geez, where are you learning this thing from? Like, I can't do this. Like, but like it was still like a good cardio drill for me. So I'm learning things from like so much different people. Mikey, I'm learning stuff from Isaiah as well. He's a big help for me getting better in the ring. Nick, of course, Rob, Nick Stone Rockwell, Rob, Silk and Stone tag team there. They've been helping me out a lot. Obviously, Anthony Santino Morella, great coach. I love his classes just because like we do that shoot style, that judo amateur wrestling style. So we do that. So I learned a lot from him there, and yeah, just learning a lot from a lot of coaches there. So it's been about
there's a lot that goes into wrestling that I think people on the outside, even me, bro,
Yeah.
like even for like what the ref has to do and what the ref is responsible for,
Yeah.
you know, like I learn more about that and like see, you know, what the wrestler's doing and how much goes into it, and I'm like, oh man, like I don't know
It's
if
a
I could
lot.
ever be a wrestler.
It's
dude.
a lot.
I
like,
respect it so much, but I just, and I would like to do maybe one match,
yeah.
you know, in my life,
Yeah.
but like, I just don't know, man.
Yeah, the referee.
At the very least, somebody put me through a table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, like refereeing, like I was talking to Harry D the other day, and he was just telling me like all this stuff they have to do about like that stuff that goes in that gets involved in like refereeing. Like my God, like he said like there's times where like he has to like look at his foot, look at the time on his foot, like just to know like what time is it during the match, and just like match cues and stuff like that, time cues, sorry. And like so much shit goes into refereeing. I was like, wow. Sometimes like I don't even think I can do refereeing because like,
it's so easy, bro.
I just feel like
easy compared. I mean, I don't want to act like it's so easy, but
Yeah.
it's easier than what you're doing. I think.
I understand that, but it's just like being in position, knowing when like you know where to be, and like oh man, it's just I feel like it's a lot. But
No, that's it.
You're right. Compared to actually like being in the ring, and
I think the main thing for me is what I've learned over and over.
yeah,
I think is super communication. I have to
that
be,
too.
regardless of whether people are coming out, I need to ask the questions or else these things are going to get skipped. And if there's an important spot and I don't know it, like there's very high probability I could fuck the match up, you know?
Damn, yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
But that sucks that you kind of started in the pandemic time. That's how I did the Muay Thai.
Yeah, man.
But like, it seems like Battle Arts didn't go the way of, and I'll talk about it now because I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
But the place I was at was just like, they were doing shit anyway.
Oh yeah.
They like taped up bags over like every window and like cardboard and shit, so you couldn't see through the windows.
Yeah, doing that
and like we were all in like a WhatsApp group, and it was like, you guys want to go in for cleaning?
Oh.
And they never, like, it was all like, it reminded me of like high school when you're trying to buy like a dime, you know?
Oh,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
you can't fucking, you know, you send. Like, yo, could I get a gram of that Primo like weed you got? And he's like, yo, don't say weed, bro. You gotta say. And you know, your boys are giving you shit. Like, that's kind of.
You have to walk up to the place and be like, oh, what's the password? And they'll let you in.
New England clam chowder.
Right?
Red or white.
Oh my God! All right, you're in. Yeah, man.
Well, yeah, we did that for a bit, but
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta ask, dude.
Yeah.
Most painful move that you've ever taken?
Ooh, most painful move.
Because I see a lot of shit, and I'm like, there's no way that didn't hurt.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Wow, most painful move I've taken. Here's the thing, like, so far, I think the most painful move I've taken was, jeez. Because I don't get slammed that much.
Well, that's the, I guess, benefit of being a big dude.
Yeah, because I'm a big dude, right? So far, I haven't really been slammed so hard, but,
no top rope bumps?
No, actually, you know what? No top rope bumps right
now.
It was a submission move. I don't know the name of the submission move, but Isaiah put me in this one move, like when we were doing in practice, and like, oh man, it felt like a bitch.
It was on the legs, or
it was on the
like,
legs. Yeah? He did some type of like, I don't know what it was, but like it was like, yo, this is a bitch. You know, like we were chaining a bit, and then like he put me in something, and I was like, nah, this ain't it. So I would say that it was the most painful move I've ever been in.
A lot of those submissions are like legit painful. Bro.
Yeah, man. Like they'll stretch you out, man. They'll definitely. I'm trying to think.
Like, what's the move that Mikey fucking does? What is it called? I know the name of it. But
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like he kind of stretches you out, puts your arm.
Yeah, I feel like it's called some sort of stretch. Actually.
Yeah.
Fuck, I can't remember. That one for sure looks painful.
Yeah.
And even though Mikey's like a small dude, like he could wrap around him still. Like I remember he had it on Gonzalez.
Oh, like you're talking about like I think it's like an octopus stretch.
That's it, yo. Octopus that's stretch. It. Yes, yeah. That's what it's called. Yeah,
man. Yeah, Mikey hit that clean. It was good. Mikey hits things out of nowhere. He shows me a bunch of submission moves. But yeah, that one looked painful.
I was kind of angry that I didn't, see him.
Were you refereeing that match?
The Gonzalez match.
The Gonzalez match. You were refereeing? Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was hoping you guys would get a tag match in September at the fucking. What is it? PWE.
PWE. Nah. I think it's just a single match with me and Legend.
That'll be good though.
I'm excited for that.
He's good, man.
I'm excited for that. Like I was just saying, like I don't really get slammed because I'm a big guy.
Could happen.
He's a bigger guy now.
Could happen.
So it could happen now. So like when you ask me about like have I ever been like what is the most painful move? I might feel it at PWE for Ron T. So.
That shit's funny because the last PWE event I was doing Asylum and him.
Yeah.
And like the finish was sharpshooter.
Yeah.
And like Nick's a big dude. And he had him in the move, and he tapped, and then he didn't get off.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, come on, let's go, ring the bell. He's doing all this shit, and then, I kind of walk with Ron, like up behind the curtain, and he was like, thanks, man, that shit fucking hurt.
I'm telling you, some submission moves will be the most painful. Like, to be honest, like the way your legs are not meant to be stretched like that. Yeah. So, for sure, like those are the most painful. There was actually one time like me and Mikey were training. This is like probably my first 2 weeks into battle arts. And this is actually caught on video. He gave me a springboard 450 splash. And he landed his knees right on my stomach. Mikey did?
I might have seen that,
You might have seen that? This is like literally... And Mikey, I know you remember that. Like, this is literally like my second week in. Mikey was like, okay, who wants to take a 450 from me? And I was like, me? I'll take it. Screw it, I'll take it. So, like, I lay on the mat. And, like, I'm just laying there. He goes to the top of the rope. Does the whole flip, and then next thing you know, boom, right on my stomach. And immediately Mike was like, oh my god, you okay? I was like, do it again.
That's fucked.
I was like, do it again. It hurt, but I was like, yo, like this is like my second week, so I'm like super like excited for anything, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, do it again. And then he did it again, did it perfectly. But like, yeah, that's like the insane brain of like Jaxon Roy. Wanting to get 450.
I've seen a lot. That's what I was saying earlier. Like Mikey's training videos before I got into it, and I think he was actually like we had talked about me getting into the world. I actually fractured my back. When I was younger, skateboarding and shit. So
okay.
Like I don't necessarily think like one of my vertebrae, like my spine is. I mean, it's probably not perfectly straight, but things are aligned. And then you get to the lower back, and there's like one vertebrae that's like in. If you actually go down like my back, there's a space. You'd have to like push in to kind of feel it.
I've kind of had some back problems as well in doing amateur wrestling. Just getting like slammed, getting double legged and then lifted up and then slammed to the mat. Like I've noticed like I've had a little bit of back problems from them, but yeah, that just comes with it.
Would you rather get slammed on like an amateur mat or like a pro ring?
They both hurt.
They both hurt,
They both hurt. And like the thing with amateur wrestling though is like you're not always getting like lifted up high. Like you're not like if you get double legged, if the guy's strong enough, he can lift you up high and then just like take you down, take you down to the mat. But like in pro wrestling, like you're getting like suplex, you're getting vertical suplex, you're getting superplex,
fucking power bombs,
and shit. So it's like they both hurt, but obviously like you're taking more of like you're getting lifted up higher in pro wrestling, obviously. Whereas like amateur wrestling, like there's a lot of like shooting, going for the legs immediately, trying to get a front headlock and taking the guy down. So yeah, they're different sports, but obviously in pro wrestling you get lifted up higher.
The thing I think is most deceiving about wrestling is that most people don't really understand or grasp how hard the fucking ropes are.
Oh my god,
dude. Like just and I'm just trying to get it. I'm asking people, oh look what, and I've just done it a couple times. So
yeah.
Damn, like
it's
for someone like Mikey, like it's gotta be brutal.
Yeah, like
I mean, for everybody,
for
I think
everyone.
it's brutal. But
when I first started, like your first day, you're gonna get those rope marks on you, But I tell it to all the new guys, like you're gonna feel it tomorrow morning, but eventually you just get used to it. I love running the ropes. I love hitting those ropes hard to get that spring, especially when you're doing moves. Like I do a lot of explosive moves, so like I have to hit the ropes really hard because I get that spring and then boom, I can just hit the guy. But yeah, it hurts. Definitely your first couple of weeks you're gonna feel it.
It definitely like helps when you have a little padding too. Like watching also like Boris. Like Mikey's small but he's a little muscular. Boris is like my size. You know what I mean? But he's the thing I really love about training with you guys and like being there is seeing the growth, and everyone has growth, and like
absolutely, man.
Boris has a lot to go, but I've seen so much just in
absolutely,
and there's people that when I started I was like, oh, these people already have it, like there's some people like you, I'm gonna get his fucking name wrong. Rajan
Husher.
Yo.
Yeah, that guy.
Really good. I mean, I'll just say it, like, best seller out of, like, anybody that I've seen there. Boris is getting good with the selling because I think shit really hurts him.
Yeah.
And you can see that.
Oh, it hurts.
It
hurts. I had a match with him the other day, and I made sure he felt everything.
But it's good. Yeah. He's getting, like,
he's definitely,
it's what needs to
I remember
happen.
that kid. Like, he came in, he was a little shy and everything like that, and, like, he was kind of timid to everything, but, like, to see his progression to where he's at now is amazing. He's dedicated to it, He's not the biggest guy, but, he's showing
Hey, man, you can get big.
Yeah.
You can get big.
You can get big, but
that's cool.
Just with him, like, coming in day and day out, and just all of us. You said Husher. That guy, he's I don't think he's even missed a practice. He hasn't missed any practices, and all the success. He was just on SmackDown or backstage at SmackDown last night. With all of his success, all of his hard work coming into practice, he deserves the success that he's having. And just with Abu as well, I've been
so many, pretty much everybody there, man.
Right, same with with Abu, like me, Abu, Mikey, we all came up together. Yeah, Manjit,
like. Yo, fucking Ahmed.
Matty Z, Ahmed.
Yo, those KPK pops, bro. I'm just
they're
come
wild.
on.
They're wild.
Insane. Man. And like I have to like I haven't known you guys that long, but I feel such a sense of like pride. Like when I was in the ring and I was trying not to smile, I try not to laugh or do any of that shit, right? And just remain like solid.
Yeah.
But like I was so happy for him and seeing that shit.
It was a good moment for him, man.
I'm like so many people there.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning, dude. And,
right? And like the sky's the limit for them. I'm so proud of those two guys. The KPK, like they took their thing and they made it themselves. They did everything themselves. And like just their hard work. They were actually both in the training at the CZW camp the other day, and they're trying to take their team out there just like Dynasty, and we're actually gonna be going a little 2-on-2 with them coming up soon at the Beaverton.
I've been waiting for that.
People have been waiting for it, and we've been waiting for it. Dynasty, we've been waiting to go 2-on-2 with them because like they've definitely shown that like as a tag team that they can like get an audience, get a following, and we just can't wait to go in the ring with them.
When is that?
This is September 17th. September 17th at Beaverton, at the new Beaverton location at Battle Arts. It's a Beaverton Fair.
Have you been to the new location yet?
No, I've not been there. So like actually that would be my first time there on the 17th.
That's like where Corelli's living around now, no?
I think so. I'm not too sure. I don't think he lives... I'm pretty sure he's close by.
Okay.
But yeah, they're like opening their new facility out there, and they wanted some of the guys to put on the show. So they chose Dynasty and KBK.
That's big.
That's a big match, like with both two up-and-coming tag teams. So we all just been waiting for this, and we're going to put on a
I got to try to make it up for that.
Awesome match. And like we're going to try to steal that show. We're going to try to steal the show that night. So I'm ready for them. Me and Mikey were ready for KBK. Coming for y'all.
All right, so
yeah.
One more question, and then we'll get into our top 5.
Of course.
Favorite wrestler, and we could also, if you want, you could do like favorite wrestler now, favorite wrestler of all time, if they're not the same,
Perfect. Favorite. This is easy. Favorite wrestler of all time is Booker T. Booker T is my favorite wrestler of all time, just because like he's been such an inspiration. In everything. Like he was actually one of the first wrestlers, like when I said like back in the day when I was 5 years old flipping through the channels, he was actually the first wrestler I saw. I believe it was like a commercial of him, like I think it was like when he first debuted in WWE, when he threw Stone Cold through the announcer table. Like,
I remember that.
Yeah, like that was like one of the first times I remember. That was one of the first times I ever watched wrestling, and I was like, wow, that like this guy's cool, doing those scissor kick moves and like those kick moves, and most importantly, like he looks like me. Here's another black guy doing wrestling, and it's an inspiration. It makes me believe like, oh, I can do this too.
And he did come from like very humble beginnings. Like he made shit happen on its own, and so,
yeah, you can relate to that, and he's just so entertaining.
Yeah,
just the spin-a-rooney, the can you dig it, sucker.
And he was good in WCW, but when he went over to WWF, it kind of just turned it up a notch, And
man.
There was he had that King Booker gimmick for a little bit.
I didn't like King Booker. I didn't like King Booker just because, like, I grew up watching Booker T. Like, him do the can you dig it, the spin-a-rooney. Yeah. And when he just stopped that, I was like, oh, no, this is not the guy I grew up watching. This is not the guy I played in the video games and all that stuff and emulated and everything, So, like, I did not like
I liked it because don't get me wrong. Like I don't think I'd necessarily say it was better than the Booker T thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, I liked it because it showed a different side. It's like when Stone Cold went like heel.
Went to a heel, yeah.
And he was like with McMahon, and there was like a lot of stupid comedy shit he did with like Kurt Angle and cowboy hats, playing guitar and shit. And it's like, yes, this isn't as good as like McMahon coming out and spraying everybody, with the fucking beer and shit. But it's funny, and I liked it because it was like, oh, this is kind of fresh.
Yeah.
And I
did like when he won the world title with King Booker, but I just wish he did it as Booker T.
Fair.
You know what I mean? So, yeah. So Booker T would be like my all-time. Currently, right now, I would say AJ Styles.
Okay.
AJ Styles is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. I watched him growing up as well in TNA. Oh my God. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, phenomenal. There's a reason why they call him that. Just him in the ring just puts on match after match after match, and they're all just, like, amazing. Yeah. And just, like, his style in the ring.
And he, he did do Undertaker's last match, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Which actually
Which is
it's
crazy. Like, wow, this guy took so long to get to WWE, and he's the guy that had Undertaker's last match. It's wild.
And it went well. I would say for what it was, it went well. Yeah, it was one of the best. What do they call them? The cinematic matches. That's what they call them. I would say it's like up there.
It's definitely up there. And I just loved like Undertaker coming out in like the American Badass gimmick, because I like that gimmick. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I liked it. I guess it's just because I grew up watching wrestling in the Ruthless Aggression era, and he was doing that. I liked the gimmick, so I actually I was like really happy for him to do that.
I liked it too, bro, and I think this is a good little. I think we should start our top 5 with entrance music.
Oh,
all right, and I think I'll go first.
Yeah,
because well, you'll see why in a minute. So number 1, Stone Cold.
Okay,
it's my favorite entrance music of all time. I have like a little thing that I do for my podcast. Like you'll probably see it. I'll probably post it on like Monday, kind of like for a promo thing. Nice. And it's like this little song like that I put together. And the beginning of it is like Stone Cold's glass shattering. Like and I mean like the OG. I didn't really like when Disturbed did it, and it was all like super heavy.
Yeah.
So that's my number 1. And then I'm going. Some people could argue that Judas is better, but if I'm going Jericho, I'm going Y2J.
Okay.
When he made his debut on Raw against The Rock.
Oh, that original
and
one.
The Rock was talking shit, and for like a bit they were doing like this countdown thing, right?
Yeah,
it would go dark and it'd be like 9, 8.
Yeah,
and it was
dope.
Yeah, and then fucking this happened when The Rock was in the ring, and then the music actually like there was a shitload of fireworks, bro. I would even say like my favorite debut of all time.
Yeah,
I would argue
it was a dope debut for sure, man.
It was great, and that music. I believe it was on WWF Volume 4.
Oh yeah,
like when they actually did
the
those
CDs, those music, WWE the music, yo,
bro.
Yeah, those.
But that is my number 2, the Y2J.
Y2J, cool.
And then my number 3 is American Badass.
Oh yeah.
That's why I was like, we definitely have to start with this. Yeah. And I actually like the American Badass gimmick as well. And I remember when he like was gone for a bit. Yeah. And I actually was like, I don't know if they're doing this anymore. But, and really, honestly, the only pay-per-views I do buy right now are the AEW ones.
Yeah.
But, like, back in the day, I would go to, like, theaters.
Right.
For these events.
Yeah,
pay-per-views and shit.
We used to do that too, me and my buddies.
And I was there for this. Nice. And it was like you ever see, like, Avengers or, like, Justice League on, like, opening night and shit?
Yeah,
and, like, people, like... Woo! And it's real loud. Like, it's louder. Those first few days that it's out.
It's a crazy atmosphere.
My God, that's what it was like. It was like that, like, times 10, dude.
Nice.
And I want to say it was, at the time, Kid Rock. That's the one. I think he briefly might have done Limp Bizkit.
He did Limp Bizkit, yeah.
But I'm talking, like,
song,
the Kid Rock one.
Yeah. American Badass. Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
So that's my number 3. Number 4 is like probably not known, dude, but like I love hip hop and shit. And there's not a lot of good hip hop. My last 2 are Aaron Solo. It's my number 4.
Okay.
He doesn't get his anymore because now he's in the fucking factory and shit, dude. But oh my God, it's good.
Nice.
And then number 5 is Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston? Okay,
I
cool.
fucking love that shit, dude. It hypes me up. Nothing hypes me up more than Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston's theme?
He needs a fucking AEW championship title ring.
Yeah.
Like, in the future.
He's actually wrestling in Toronto. Is it today or tomorrow?
Greek Town. Yeah.
So he's down here, man.
Yeah, it is tomorrow, and I can't go. Wait. It's either tomorrow or today. I mean, this is coming out on Tuesday, so...
Yeah.
But it's either... I don't know. It's this weekend.
This weekend, yeah, man. So...
Yeah, I can't go. I'm going to Chili Peppers, or I went to Chili Peppers on Sunday. Yeah, dude. So what do you think? Entrance music.
So me... I'm I'm gonna say my number one is Booker T's theme. Just I grew up, it was my thing back in the day. Like I just love listening to it, like the whole "Can you dig it?" and then it gets in the whole instrumental. I just love playing that stuff.
Did he ever have, like, it's always been the
yeah,
like it never changed.
Like I think it, like in WCW, like it wasn't "Can you dig it?" I think like
that kind of thing.
It was like I think the intro was like, "Don't hate the player, hate the game," and then get into like the theme song.
Gotcha.
But like this version, like the WWE version, it was the whole "Can you dig it?" So I'll just start off with that. Second was Rob Van Dam.
Okay.
I love Rob Van Dam's theme. It gets me hype in the gym. Like there's this whole like the one of a kind, and then it just gets into like the crazy like guitar riffs and stuff like that. It's like I love Rob Van Dam's theme. It's so hype. Three would be, you know what theme I actually like, and these are actually two. This is actually Rob Van Dam was a rock theme. This is another rock theme. Is Rhea Ripley.
Okay.
I like Rhea Ripley's theme. I like themes that are like really hype.
Yeah.
And that can get me pumped for the gym. So I love Rhea Ripley's theme. It's just, I don't know, like when like the bass hits or the bass drops after the like "This is my brutality." Like I like that shit. 4. What would be number 4? Number 4. You know what theme I actually really like? Evolution.
Oh yes,
Evolution themes was fire.
Oh, they were such a good faction.
Yeah, I loved Evolution's theme.
They were good, man. If it was like Flair, like don't I don't want to take anything away from Flair. Yeah. You know, I don't even really want to talk about his last match. Let's just forget about it. But the only like I would say, like, no joke, that might be my favorite faction of all time. It's on there. If we were doing the top 5 factions, Evolution will be on there for sure.
For sure, okay.
I just think if Ric Flair was like 5 years younger, there would be no argument. They would for sure be like number 1 because they just had so much. And I think actually like the end of Evolution was it the thumbs down thing when Randy Orton won the belt?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was fucking epic too, man.
That was a crazy moment. It was a moment that you didn't see coming. You know.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, and the last one would be AJ Styles' TNA theme, like the "Get Ready to Fly." I love that shit, bro. Like that was actually one of the better TNA themes. Like TNA wasn't really known for like having really good theme songs, but like for some reason that one was just like that one hit different. Like that was a crazy theme. It got me hype. But yeah, I love that one. I actually liked it way better than his theme that he has now. I wish he would have.
I hate when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, like I wish he would have kept it, but like obviously like WWE, they don't really like using stuff from other companies, so
I don't like right now like what some people in AEW are doing. It's like pick a fucking theme song, or pick an entrance song, you know what I mean? Like like I swear Orange Cassidy in the last 2 years has had like 3 different ones.
Oh yeah, they keep
and
switching.
Like I feel like none of them really fit him.
I know.
You know? I don't know.
Yeah, man.
We want to do tag teams. Let's do tag teams.
Cool.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I can go first.
All right.
So my favorite tag team of all time would be the Dudley Boys.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, man. I grew up watching those guys. They were just different. They looked different. They wrestled different. And I don't care what anyone says, they have the greatest tag team move of all time.
The finisher move?
The finisher move.
I love it, bro. It's simple, and it's
It's amazing. It's epic. Like,
you include a table, and
exactly.
It's just,
You get the tables. Everything about the Dudley Boys is just like, they're my favorite tag team of all time. Number 2... And just because like they're such an inspiration, because like once again they're guys who look like me, are the New Day. I like the New Day just because like they like, again, they were different. They did things their way. They're a faction kind of like Dynasty who did things their way, you know, and they figure out a way to get over, and it ultimately helped Kofi Kingston win the WWE title. So I would say like they are definitely in there. I can see why some people might like New Day, like they're jokes, like they're silly, you know? But like they are, you know, to see what they've done for the industry is amazing. Like they've done a lot. So I would say like they're number 2. Number 3, America's Most Wanted in TNA. So that's James Storm and Wildcat Chris Harris. So like they just like were just so entertaining. They were different, and they were just so good in the ring. Like they had such good chemistry, and yeah, they just really caught my eye when I first started watching TNA. So yeah, it would be the America's Most Wanted, and then eventually this goes into my 3rd favorite tag team, and it's also TNA, is Beer Money. So that would be James Storm and Robert Roode, who's actually in WWE now. Like I loved those guys. They were different. They came out with like the beer coolers and stuff like that, and James Storm had the robes and stuff like that. They were just like a different looking. They didn't look like they went together, but they just meshed well together, you know, and they just worked so well in the ring. So that would be number 3. Number 4 would be, I don't know if you remember these guys. Lundrick, Paul London and Brian Kendrick.
Oh yeah, I do.
You remember them?
Yeah.
They were sick. Like they reminded me a lot of the Hardy Boys. Like they were like the ruthless aggression Hardy Boys. Like they did all the crazy spots. They did all the cool moves. Their entrance was cool. Like they would run to the ring and just like slide in and like. Yeah, they didn't do much like as far as like talking on the mic, but like they showed what they can do in the ring, and yeah, that was such a cool time. I was so happy when Brian Kendrick came back to WWE because like he was like one half of like this team that like I grew up watching and like loved watching. So shout out to them. Like I feel like they're very underrated. A lot of people do not talk about Lundrick, and then I guess number 5 would be. Yeah, the Hardy Boys. Obviously, you know, they're a huge inspiration to anyone who loves tag team wrestling. Very, very iconic tag team. Like, do I have to say any more? It's the Hardy Boys. Like, everyone loves the Hardy Boys. They've done so much for the industry. So, that would be my top 5. It would be Hardy Boys, Beer Money, America's Most Wanted. It would be The New Day, and last but not least, it would be who's my first one again? I said first. Fuck.
You did say 5 though.
I did say 5.
It's all good.
I forget. You know the first one. You saw it on tape.
Yeah.
So that would be my favorite tag team. The Dudley Boys. Fuck.
There we go.
Jeez, my bad. I can forget my favorite. The Dudley Boys.
I love all those teams, but like none of them. I if I was doing a 6th, I would probably put the Dudley Boys in there.
Yeah.
So number 1, and they're a team that I guess I'm relatively new with. Like just discovered them when AEW started, but Lucha Bros. Like, pretty much every time I see them wrestle, I'm like, oh, never seen that before. You know, like, numerous times. And I love that. Keeps it fresh. I'm going with New Age Outlaws.
Okay.
Which weren't necessarily, like, I wouldn't say... They're good in the ring, for sure. But I wouldn't say they were the best, technically. They were just fun to watch.
Fun to watch.
The DX thing, you know, it was... It was a good time. They had a really, you know, their intro was epic. Then I'm going probably like the first team I actually like, you know, Bushwhackers, dude.
Oh, really?
Fucking, you know, like those dudes.
Yeah, man.
They're just fun to, yeah, dude. They were just fun to watch back in the day. Like, I got into wrestling at a really young age, and like they were just, I want to say the first team I was ever like a fan of.
That's nice. That's nice.
Young Bucks.
Okay.
Again, very, very innovative. And then I'm going Legion of Doom.
Oh, okay, of course. Yeah. Very iconic tag.
And like, you know, the Hawk and Animal, not when, who was it? What,
Heinrich? Yeah, that was my era. Like, yeah, I remember that. Like, that was so random. Like, you know, they brought back Animal, and then the next thing you know, they put Heinrich, and it was just, nah. Just
give Animal a solo run. Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
It was not it, man. And then they tried to put Christy Hemme with them, and it was just like, nah. They tried to, like, bring back that whole, like, Animal and Hawk with, like, a Sunny type of vibe. So that's where they put Christy Hemme, but it just, nah, man, it was not it.
Hemme was a babe, or is a babe.
Bro, she still looks good to this day, yo. Really good. Yeah.
Dream matches, dude.
Dream matches. Do you mean like for me, or like the matches I would like to see two people?
I mean, for you.
For me?
Yeah. Like, who would
wow.
you... And I want to try to say, like, people you can actually wrestle. Like,
yeah, I know what you mean. Like,
not necessarily that... I just... Does Booker T wrestle still?
He actually
still wrestles. I feel like he qualifies.
Of course. Like, I think he did a match for his promotion, ROW. He did a match for them like not too long ago. So I think he still does matches every now and then.
That's dope.
So
Stone Cold came back and his match was fucking great, dude.
We were all at our mixed house watching that, and we did not believe it was gonna happen. Like, him actually getting back to the ring. So when they rang the bell, we're like, no. And then we see him take his first bump. We're like, is this really happening?
So many bumps, like decent bumps he took. The match was like fucking like 20 minutes, over 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
I was actually worried kind of going into it because he's my GOAT.
Yeah.
And he did it well, man. That's really well.
Yeah, man. Like, wow, I couldn't believe what I was watching. It's like, am I really watching Stone Cold Steve Austin wrestle in 2022?
Kevin Owens.
Like, wow.
Like, kidding me? Okay.
He must have lost it backstage after that.
Yeah, right?
Wow. But yeah, my dream matches. I think I said this on another podcast. One of the matches I'd really like to have is against Rob Silk. Silk and Smooth, so one of our coaches.
Yeah.
I really would love to wrestle him just because, like, I feel like me and him have, like, the same style. Like, we're both very explosive. We both have, similar athletics. He likes to, like, do a lot of, like, jumps, like, really jumps. And just, like, basically his intensity is, like, similar to mine. So, Rob, even just, like, both of them, Rob and Nick.
Yeah.
Stone Rockwell.
They're both, so, like, Nick is just a fountain of fucking information and, like, knowledge. And it's, he's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I don't want to put him over too much, but he is fucking awesome.
I ain't gonna put you over too much, Nick. But, yeah, Stone Rockwell and Silk against Dynasty would be great. Another guy I would like to wrestle. There's just so many guys. Like, there's so many guys on the independents that I would love to wrestle one-on-one, even just a tag team.
Well, even, like, bigger, bro.
Yeah.
Even bigger than independents.
Yeah. Obviously, I would love to wrestle, like, a guy like a Chad Gable. Someone who kind of has, like, similar backgrounds to me, like, in, like, amateur wrestling. Like, a Chad Gable, a Dolph Ziggler would be great.
I think a good match, and I could be wrong here, but I would like to see Pete Dunne versus Jaxon Roy.
Oh, man. That'd be a good one.
That'd be a good one.
Yeah, like, his style and my style will definitely mesh pretty good. This Booker T as well. All of, like, my guys that, like, I grew up watching would be dream matches for me.
Yeah.
Booker T, Rob Van Dam, Edge, like a fellow Toronto guy. Like, that would be great.
Edge is definitely a possibility.
Yeah. Like, all the guys that...
Edge is doing well on his return, too, man.
He's doing amazing. Like, just to see the shape that he's gone in, it's crazy. He looks better than he did, like, before
I think
he retired.
so, too. Yeah.
He looks just like he looked in 2002. 2002, Edge was on fire. He was just having killer matches, like, match after match after match. Like, he just killed it. And I feel like since he's come back, he's gotten back to that point. Like, he's having just great matches with Seth Rollins. He's had great matches with Reigns and Daniel Bryan. Like, he's really killing it right now. So,
well, I think right now, like, every single... Tell me one bad fucking Bryan Danielson match since he's been in AEW, bro.
Man.
They're all, like, 5-star fucking matches. He's fucking crushing.
He's back, man. Like,
dude.
He's going back to those days where he was, like, in Ring of Honor. And I used to watch Ring of Honor back in the day. All of his matches with Samoa Joe and Daniels and freaking AJ. Like, he's going back to that moment or that time where, like, he really loves professional wrestling, and he can really show what he can do. So it's great. It's great to see him, back at that stage.
So, I could pretty much name like the whole AEW roster like of matches I'd like to ref. I don't really have a top 5 because but like I mean MJF,
of course,
fucking Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, and like working that event, I definitely don't think I'll ever be. I mean, I got a ways to go to be the senior official, so I don't think I'll get that match. Man. But I mean, it's like legitimately gonna be an honor to be working an event with her. So
that's crazy, man. That's good.
But yeah, like fucking pretty much anybody. AEW, AEW legitimately has brought back my love for wrestling, and like I've been going to like indie shows and stuff, but as far as like watching it every day, buying pay-per-views, things like that, it was a long time. I would like skim through WrestleMania and watch maybe like an hour and a half of it all together,
I feel you,
And AEW, like I buy every pay-per-view, and so like I just really love their product. I think now, with Vince being gone, I see things changing for WWE, and I'm excited. I've
seen some changes already with just like with Triple H bringing back all of his guys from the NXT.
Right. Like almost like right away.
Instantly like a change, right? And you're just like seeing like more a little bit more edginess to like some of the, backstage segments, kind of like what they did with Dexter Lumis, with like everything, him getting arrested and stuff like that. But most importantly, I think like what's gonna happen with Triple H in charge is that they're gonna start scouting out independent talent again, like they used to do. Before like the NXT 2.0, like they had a lot of like indie talent. Like every month, like it seemed like a new independent wrestler was just like coming to the roster and coming to the brand. So I feel like now that Triple H is in charge, he's gonna start like scouting out some of independent talent. Still looking for athletes, still looking for them, but he's gonna also strive to kind of sign some independent talent as well.
Who I don't know if she has like a stage name, but someone from Battle Arts just got signed with NXT or whatever.
Yeah, Monica.
Yeah, she just go by Monica?
She goes by Monica. She goes by Monique in OTT.
Oh, okay.
But that's Monica. Yeah, she just recently got signed to WWE. She come from a karate background. I think she's actually was on Team Canada for karate.
That's wild.
So she has a very, very prestigious karate background. But yeah, she did a couple of tryouts with them, got recruited, and yeah, she just got signed. And very happy for her. Very proud of her.
She seems excited, man. I don't even really know her. Like I met her like maybe like a handful of times, but she's always very polite and always very positive attitude, and it's just exciting to see,
Yeah, she was offered a bit to go to the PC, but now she's back at Battle Arts and she's doing her thing. She's training really hard, and like she takes it seriously. A lot of people would say like, oh, she comes from like this background. She doesn't really like care too much about wrestling, but no, like I've talked to her. She really cares about the business.
The thing is, man, like some people, they really get in their head that there's like, it's this way. There's one path to, becoming a great wrestler or a great comedian or a great fucking painter. Yeah. And there's not, dude. Yeah. There's not. There's so many paths and like...
There's so much different avenues, different journeys. Like everyone has their own journey. Yeah. And
that karate is going to, benefit her in the end. It will.
Exactly. It's a combat sport, just like with me, with amateur wrestling. It's a combat sport that teaches you discipline. So she already has that discipline to kind of like go into practice, do drills, be respectful.
Learn things.
Learn new things, So, yeah, it's really good for her, and we'll see how she does in the future in NXT.
You gotta keep learning, man.
Yeah, man. Very, very important.
What are we gonna do? Let's do shoes.
Wow.
Are you a shoe guy?
No.
You're not, eh?
No, I'm not that much of a shoe guy. When it comes to shoes, like I know what's funny? I know more about wrestling shoes than actual regular shoes.
Oh, okay.
So like When it comes to like regular shoes, I like Converse.
Yeah.
The leather one though. Like I
Okay.
don't like the other material one.
Yeah.
I just wear regular leather Converse. I've had Jordans before, but like I am one of the guys like I don't like getting my shoes dirty. So like like having Jordans to me like I would always get dirty. So I was like nah. Like, I don't want to get these dirty.
Just frustrated.
I just like
headache.
I just got frustrated with it. So like I just stopped buying them.
Yeah, so I don't buy white shoes anymore.
Yeah.
Anything like maybe a little bit of white.
Even for me, like I had like it was like black, red, and white, and like I still didn't want to get it dirty. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not buying these anymore. I'm cool with just Converse. But yeah, I'm not much of a shoe guy, to be honest. So
all right, I had a bunch of like top fives. I didn't just pick shoes because you're black.
Yeah.
I had like I just kind of go through things. Superheroes is really like the only one I do every episode just to kind of bring people into my world. Yeah. But I did work like at a shoe store back in the day. So like I am a little weird about shoes and like keeping them clean and like so I'll generally have like just a shit pair that I just like wear, take my dog for walks and do all that kind of shit. And then I have like my ref shoes. Yeah. And then I have like my other like everyday good shoes. Like I have different shoes for different things, but my number one is Superstars, like the shell toes, the Adidas. Okay. Just think they're classic. And then I'm going Stan Smiths. I'm a big Adidas dude. Nice. And they're just comfortable. Then I'm going Timberland boots.
Oh wow, okay.
And just like the OG, like the premium ones, the
my
tall
boy wears
ones.
those. It's sick. Yeah, they're sick.
And like actually, like when I got my first pair of Tims, I was working at the shoe store that I'm in. I think it was called Tattoo Footwear. And they had like, it was just like a brand name store, so it had all that shit. And I never had Tims before. And we did this like competition between all of like the lower level, like not the managers or anything, but every, just what the fuck was I? What do you do when what is that fucking position called? Why am I drawing a blank? Like what am I if I sell you clothes?
Salesman?
Yeah, okay, I guess. I for a lack of, I can't think of it, but a salesman works, right? So all the people, the salesmen or salespeople, like whoever sold the most shoe accessories, for the month, right? So we're talking like sprays, so fucking it doesn't absorb water. We're talking like shoelaces, whatever the fuck else goes with shoes. I think socks was even included. Okay, and so I sold all that shit, and then I was like, what's the most expensive thing in the store I can buy? Yeah. And we had these, dude, to this day, they're still the best ones I've ever had, and they were the first ones. They were black and red, dude. Just black and red. Okay. They had like a red stripe on like the side at the bottom, like the rubber part. Yeah. And then like the tree logo was red, and then the top part was red. And they were like $3, and I was like, I'll take them. Because I just wanted to like, get the most I could from the company. And I fucking fell in love, and I've like never bought a winter boot, a different winter boot. It's like I just, I'm good. I just keep buying like the same all black Tims, or if I find like a cool one, I might pick it up. But nice. And then like I said, I actually had to kind of like do some Googling because I'm not a big shoe dude, but there's these skate shoes that I had. And like skate shoes are just like a couch on your foot, dude. I don't know if you ever owned a pair, but
I've seen like I know like about the DC shoes.
There's so much padding,
Yeah.
And so I'm going with Ryan Sheckler, the skateboarder. He had these Etnies. Okay. So I'm just gonna say those. I don't really. They might have some like fancy name or whatever, but I don't know. His Etnies, and then Chuck Taylor's the Converse. Nice. I'm not
Can't go wrong with Chuck Taylor's.
The thing with them is like, they don't look good on my feet, so I had one pair in my life, and then I haven't had them since. But I just love how they look and how long they've been around, and like they could fit so many different like. You could be punk rock, you could be fucking hip hop, you could be fucking. They're like they just fit so many different cultures that they they got to be on the list. I think
exactly, definitely.
And I guess we'll finish on superheroes, dude.
Superheroes, awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, I would say my first favorite would be Black Panther.
Yeah.
Black Panther's my favorite superhero of all time. I love the movie. They're coming out with a new one.
I'm worried a little bit.
You're already worried, eh?
I'm a little worried. I don't know how they're gonna do it well.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
But
seems like it's gonna be.
I don't know. Like the sequels are never
even
ever like better than the original one, like movie.
It's rare.
It's rare, exactly. But I'm still gonna tune in to see what they have in store for that movie. So yeah, number one would be Black Panther.
Okay.
Number two, I don't know if this guy's a superhero. Blade.
Yeah. Yeah. It doesn't even need to be traditional, but I would say he is.
I love Blade.
Yeah.
I love that movie back in the day.
100%. They're bringing it back.
Are they?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
I can't remember who's playing him right now. I know, but I can't think of his name. But they are bringing him back.
Oh man.
I'm not sure if it's going to be a movie or if it's going to be a show.
TV show?
But
Either
they are.
way, I'm definitely going to tune in. That's
those first two were epic.
First two, the third one
was
trash.
okay.
I don't like the third one.
I was like excited. I was like, oh, fucking Triple H
is in it. Oh,
no.
Nah, that was not it. I did not enjoy that one. Not one bit. I only like the first two, and then I never watched the third one ever again.
No, he's definitely superhero.
Oh, yeah. So Blade. Third would be Hulk. I like the Hulk. The movies were never really great, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I just like, I don't know, like here's like a big strong guy, you know, he's a big guy kind of like me, so like I like the Hulk.
I like him too. I hate kind of what they're doing with him in the Avengers stuff, and now that he's just like this Professor Smart Hulk or whatever, you know? You know what I should recommend, and I just watched the first episode yesterday night.
Mm-hmm.
She-Hulk.
I heard it's pretty good.
There's only one episode out, but I fucking, as far as Marvel shows go, I'm not too, like, they're very hit or miss for me.
Okay.
But this is, like, definitely a hit. It's definitely a good one.
I should definitely tune in.
And Bruce is in it.
Bruce is in it? Okay, cool.
So,
cool. Yeah, I've heard some good things about it. What am I on, 4?
Yeah, I think
4 would be Spider-Man. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Spider-Man is the freaking greatest. I love Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
That's your favorite?
He's my favorite.
Me too.
I've had a lot of debates on, you know, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, I don't know what the other third guy's name is, but whatever.
Tom Holland.
Holland. But my favorite is Tobey Maguire. I love the first two movies again. I love the first two movies of Spider-Man back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
There's something about the like when the MCU started, I think they originally were planning on starting it with Edward Norton's Hulk, but I think officially they're, I guess, doing it with, I don't know actually officially, I'm just talking shit, but I think people mostly reference Iron Man.
Okay.
You know, because, you know, the Hulk changed. But Iron Man was actually at the end of Edward Norton's Hulk movie.
Nice.
And I think once that started, like, the comic book movie genre changed. And there's something that is really, like, the first few X-Men movies.
Yeah.
The first two, actually.
Yeah.
You know, the first two Blades. And, like, the first two Spider. These are, like, pre-formula days.
Yeah,
like, now they have this formula, and most of their movies are just, like, cookie cutter.
Yeah,
we're going to put in characters, but they're basically the same movie.
Yeah, it's definitely like...
But back then, there was something special about those. So
it was different.
that's why I like Toby.
Yeah.
You know?
He's just so good. Such a good...
And I like Garfield. I think the thing about Garfield now that people are seeing was like, oh, like he wasn't a bad Spider-Man. He was just not in the best movies.
Oh, I see. It's just the way the movie is put together, yeah.
And I hear that Tom Hardy's Venom, I don't know how legit this is, but it's something I heard, and I was like, please be true, that he was going to be in The Amazing Spider-Man, so like Andrew Garfield's universe, and they were going to do a third one.
Oh, really?
I think that could be cool if they were actually going to do that.
That can be cool. You know, I like the Venom movies. So.
You know what, dude?
I like the first one.
The first one was so good.
Yeah, the first one was good. The second one, a little shaky.
It was okay. It gets a pass, but like the first one was just great. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Number 5. I think I'm on number 5. Number 5 would be Wolverine.
Yeah.
Wolverine would be my top 5. My last 5. I don't know. Just cool. It's a cool superhero.
Yeah.
You know, take no shit, just badass. Yeah, Wolverine.
Did you watch that like old school cartoon?
I watched the cartoons growing up. Yeah,
that's why I started getting my love for fucking him.
Like, and when it came to like the whole X-Men, like I only cared about Wolverine. I didn't really care about anyone else.
Yeah, well, he was definitely the one I liked.
Yeah.
The most. And I started getting into like Gambit. There's a few, but a lot of them are just
Yeah. I mean, like, they're cool. Like
they're good as a team.
They're good as a team,
know?
But like I just only cared about Wolverine, so he's the only one that caught my eye on the team. So
and they're bleeding that movie, Frank. They need to do something. I think they're gonna bring in X-Men with like the Avengers and shit soon.
Oh yeah.
So it's what they need to do. They need to bring some new life. I know they're bringing Fantastic Four and stuff back. So I mean, it's only
Fantastic Four.
It's only a matter of time before we get X-Men in there.
Yeah, man.
Deadpool and shit. That'd be cool.
Ooh, that'd be cool. Deadpool's cool. Yeah, man. So yeah, that's my top 5.
All right, dude. I can do mine quick. I do them every episode, but Batman, Ninja Turtles, then I'm going Red Hood, Arsenal, and Spider-Man.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good list.
So that's my 5. All right, bro. We'll end on one of these.
Nice.
You pick one.
Cool.
I'll pick one. And oh, these are decent.
Okay. So I just read it off?
Yeah, you read one.
Okay. Have you ever felt like you were outside your body? Like an out of body experience.
Like non. Because like I'm like over 10 years sober now. Like, but like back in the day, like non-drug induced, probably only one time.
One time?
And it's like I feel like the very first time I bombed. Yeah. Actually, it wasn't that like super bad because I wasn't the only one. Like it's worse if you're on a show and everybody does great but you.
Yeah, man.
And there's like a couple people that do bad. It's like, all right, we all suck.
I feel you, yeah.
And it was the first time I was doing an open mic and a couple people sucked before me, and so like I was just like, oh god, this isn't gonna go well. Like no one did well before me, so my headspace wasn't good. And I remember just like every joke, like I had like some like fucking daredevil sense of hearing, like tell a joke and then nothing.
Oh man!
And I could hear like people whispering like at the fucking back of the bar.
It's tough.
It's looking at me and shit, and I was just like, oh my god, time like slowed down.
Yeah,
and
man.
I would say that's probably.
It's just like wrestling when like you do like a move or you come out and like you get no reaction. Like it's just so awkward.
Yeah.
Like especially if you're like one of the good guys and you come out and you're like yeah, and then people are just silent. It's just so awkward. Like it's just like an awkward feeling. Or you do like a move and like it doesn't get a reaction. It's just like ooh, okay. So I can kind of see what you're saying there, like that kind of feeling when like you just hear crickets. So
it's like I felt like I was like watching myself, you know, but I couldn't do anything. It was just I don't know.
Yeah, man.
It was like on autopilot, just going through the motions.
For real.
All right, first one. What do I want to do first? Okay. Do you say things you later regret?
Do I say things I later regret? Sometimes. Like, there's times where, like, I would say something to a girl, and I was like, oh, shit. I shouldn't have said that.
okay, yeah.
Like, yeah, and there's sometimes, like, that's the first thing that comes to my head. Like, I'll have an argument with someone, and, like, sometimes I'll think, like, oh, man, maybe I went a little too far. I probably shouldn't.
Who doesn't say things they regret?
Exactly. Like, that's just, like, human
That's how I feel. I feel like... Yeah. Yeah. It's like if you look back at yourself, like, 10 years ago, and there isn't something that you, like, kind of cringe about.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not growing enough.
Exactly.
That's how I feel.
I absolutely agree.
Or you're just not, you just don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck about anything,
Yeah.
Like, you just, like, had no filter. Like, for me, definitely I've said some things that are cringe. I'm like, oh, man, I look back. It's like, why did I say that? Stupid. But yeah, I think that's just.
But you learn, man. Yeah,
just
like
learn. You know, like that's everybody.
Yeah.
So yeah. I guess I'll ask you the second one. Have you had a memorable experience using a drug, legal or otherwise?
Oh fuck. Yeah. What one do I want to talk about?
Oh boy.
I don't want to get too crazy. And like I was like brought up with like a weird, like I was in foster homes and stuff, dude.
Oh,
and
man.
like so my mom did drugs and stuff, and so like in my mind I was like, all right, I'm never gonna do crack, heroin, or meth.
Okay.
So like I did a lot of stuff, but I didn't do those. And I want to say, I don't know. There's so many. A lot of them towards the end of like that period of my life weren't good. It was just like it's like I kind of needed to do it, which is the reason I stopped.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't just doing it for fun, which like happens a lot of the time. I don't know. What was the actual question again? Just a memorable moment.
It says, have you ever had a memorable experience using a drug, legal or otherwise?
Okay. Fuck. Okay, so this is the one that really comes and sticks out. I was like living with my girlfriend and her parents were away.
Yeah.
And I was like selling drugs at the time.
Ooh.
Like weed and mushrooms and shit and other things. And we got like a group, like maybe like 15 people, 20 people.
Okay.
And we all got together like where we are, like at our place, and then we're like, all right, we're gonna go to this park, but before we go, everybody do all the drugs they have.
Oh yeah.
Okay. And so, like, I mean, I did like, I think like an ecstasy pill or Molly.
Yeah.
You know, I did one of them. I fucking did like a bunch of mushrooms.
Okay.
And like I want to say like 2 tabs of acid. There was some acid in there.
Jeez.
And then only one of us had a car, right? And so the guy who had the car, obviously, like for real, like he waited until we went to the park. And so he was driving us all in shifts, right?
Right.
And the bad thing was like I was in like the first shift and my girl was like in the last shift. And so I had a whole lot of time to just do some irresponsible shit. Like I was young, I was like teenager, like maybe like 19, maybe 20, early 20s, late teens.
Okay.
And so like as everyone's getting there, everyone's like, oh, like what else do you have? And I don't know if you know what K is, but it's like at the time I had done a little bit, but I didn't really know a lot, and I did like maybe like it's like a drug you sniff. I did like a bump that was like the size of my fucking thumbnail, and like it's not cocaine in the sense that it gets you like rushy and like hyper and shit. Like this is kind of fucking like it's a tranquilizer essentially, you know?
Oh, it's one of those to kind of like.
And so like it gives you like hallucinations and shit, and so I did that. By the time my fucking girlfriend got there, like I couldn't walk on my own. Like I was just like and I was just like looking up at the sky, bro, and I'm like looking at the sky, and this is the most I've ever hallucinated in my life with the mushrooms, the acid, the K, and I'm like seeing like
all that.
I'm seeing like fucking I don't know, just shooting stars like all night, just fucking crazy stuff. But at the end, we go to like this abandoned house. It was in Brampton, and we go to this abandoned house, and we're walking in, and everyone's like, stop. And someone like turns on like a light, maybe from their phone or something, and like the whole floor on like the main floor was like caved in. We were like a foot away from walking into this like giant hole that went into the basement.
Holy.
And so we stopped and we're like, that's a bad idea, and kind of went down the stairs. We were exploring the parts that weren't all fucked up, and I went downstairs, and like, and I'm all fucked up. Have you ever seen Blair Witch?
No.
Okay. No. Oh my God, this would be.
I've heard of it. Right,
this would make more sense if you saw Blair Witch, but so in Blair Witch, they're like hunting for this like evil spirit, and then they find this abandoned house in the woods, and like there's this thing about like standing in the corner, and like, oh, like you'll know if she's around.
Oh, okay.
Because like people won't look her in the face, and it's like there's just this person standing in the corner of this abandoned house.
Oh wow.
And it's supposed to be like a found film kind of movie.
Okay.
And so like the person that's carrying the camera sees the person in the corner, and then all of a sudden they're like attacked. The camera drops.
Oh, it's one of those like kind of like one of those like paranormal movies type of thing.
Yes, actually, this was like, I would say maybe the movie that started. It's old, and it started it, and it was at a time when like you couldn't just go on Google.
Yeah.
And like see who was in the movie on Wikipedia.
Nice.
Or like IMDb. So like a lot of us were like, yo, this shit's real.
Yeah.
You know? So that's the kind of movie. Obviously, you know, at this point I knew it wasn't real, but I go in the basement and my boy's in the fucking corner and I'm like, what the fuck? And I just straight out of the house, like by myself. I'm like,
crazy.
Oh, where are you going? It's like, no, man. No. Like, and so I want to say that is like,
wow.
That is the time. It terrified me, bro.
Definitely.
You know, the next day I was like, oh, that's funny, dude. But that night, at the time, I was like, I'm gonna fucking die right now. For real.
My goodness. Holy smokes. That was like a wild time, man. Whew.
Yeah, I would say if you're gonna do drugs, get them out when you're young.
Yeah.
It's easier to break addiction and get away from that shit when you're young, you know?
When you get older.
People that start doing like hard drugs when they're like old.
Nah, man.
I mean,
out of that.
Nah. Like I said, over 10 years, bro. Damn. So. Damn. But I was in it bad for a little bit, you know? Yeah, it took a bit.
Well, you know,
what about you?
No, man. Nothing like that.
You smoke weed?
Occasionally.
Edibles?
No.
No?
No, man.
Yeah.
No. I don't like that.
You drinker?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I feel like I'm more of a drinker than a smoker. But like again, occasionally.
Yeah.
I just like really like just focus on like, you know, wrestling, health, and all that stuff. So,
I figure.
I kind of like don't like dive in too much with that. So, but, like as far as like drinks, like I like a little Jack Daniels, a little whiskey. Yeah, but occasionally.
I was expecting you to say like Ray and Nephew or something.
Huh?
I was expecting you to say like Ray and Nephew or something.
Nah, man. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big drinker either, man. Like my foster dad was Jamaican dude. And so like when I was a teenager, I fucking, you know, that was like before the drugs. I need alcohol like easily. And so I would just drink a lot of his fucking Ray and Nephew and Appleton. Now I can't drink rum like at all. I barely drink now. Like I don't drink a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, more of a weed guy.
Yeah, of course.
That's what I do. But yeah, dude.
Yeah,
so you can let these people know where to get at you and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, man. So you guys can follow me on Instagram at Jaxon_Roy. You can also follow me on Twitter at Jaxon_Roy. Follow the Rising Stars 2.0 page where you can see all of the wrestlers that are coming up at Battle Arts. We've been training hard. We will be back eventually with a show, so tune in for that or look out for that. Follow Mikey at Mikey Truth on Instagram. You can also follow Derek Smith, another member of Dynasty, at D_wrestler. And also follow Sway Archer. Follow Sway Archer, another member, part of Dynasty, at Sway Archer, and also his apparel page, Sway Archer Apparel, so you can follow all that on Instagram. But yeah, and also follow the journey of Dynasty. We have a lot of stuff coming up. We're gonna be on a lot of shows, and look out for us because we're coming up.
Come out to one.
Come out to a Rising Stars show. Come out to hey, you never know, an OTT show. We were just on OTT the other day, so just look out. Stay tuned to our Instagrams, our Twitters, and stay caught up.
Yeah, bro. Big things coming, brother.
Of course.
Like always, this podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%. And by the Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. Thanks again for being here, brother.
Of course.
Go get your tickets to Lafiteria. Go get your tickets to the monthly show. Come out to some fucking wrestling. Thunder Rosa's going to be here in September.
Yes, sir.
And I'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. Peace the fuck out.
Peace.